Welcome to the new session on a clinical problem in newborn baby. Today the discussion is on a term baby who developed a little bit of change in color immediately after delivery. At the end of this presentation, the listener is expected to know the importance of proper history taking, care of baby in the first few days, and report to the nursing and doctors of the newborn if there is any danger sign like change in color, especially yellow, blue, pink or white, or change in activity, level of consciousness, poor sucking. And they should know the importance of the steps in neonatal care and when to intervene. This is very important in saving a life, because in newborn the baby survives, they can survive up to 90 years. A small mistake, it costs a lot of money to the everybody involved in the newborn care. This time I am presenting a newborn baby male child who presented with 11 hours after delivery with a dusky color. That means a little bit of blue color developed for the baby. He was born to a 32-year-old mother who was pregnant 5 times, only has 3 children. And this delivery was a cesarean because of the repeated fetal heart monitoring which showed deceleration. And there was some meconium stained fluid when the ARM was done. There is artificial rupture of membrane was done. So the baby is in distress. The maternal history is very important here. There is a history of post-traumatic disorder for the mother. She had a psychiatric problem like bipolar disorder. And during pregnancy, she was hospitalized for suicidal idea as well as medical problems like gestational diabetes and migraine. So multiple problems she had, poor woman. And the mother was on multiple medications like clonazepam, fluoxetine, lithium, olanzapine, glyburide, and propranolol. All these medications are shown here. And she is also given a dose of morphine 24 hours before the baby's birth. And epidural anesthesia was given with fentanyl and bupivacaine before delivery. Obviously, you can understand the problem the obstetrician might be facing with such a woman with a psychiatric problem. So to calm her down and reduce the pain, the relatives are insisting on such procedures. And at the time of delivery, the baby was found to have a weak cry, and once he was brought to the warmer, he had no spontaneous respiration. So the Apgar scoring is respiration assessed by crying, reflexes, irritability, pulse, heart rate, skin color, body extremities and muscle tone are the ones which doctors use to assess the Apgar scoring. And the warmer is the one which shows where the child is usually kept under to keep the body temperature. Remember, baby is inside the mother at 37 degrees Celsius, and most of the time the labor room is air conditioned with a temperature of 25. There is a fall of temperature of 15 to 12 degrees Celsius. So it is quite hypothermic. There was no meconium suctioned below the vocal cord during resuscitation, and so positive pressure ventilation was initiated, and the initial heart rate was less than 100 beats per minute, and it improved to greater than 100 beats per minute. And he continued to require positive pressure ventilation because of the apnea. After 3 minutes of positive pressure ventilation, his work of breathing is normal. And it is felt that his initial respiratory depression was probably related to the fetal distress he had as was the evidence by the passage of meconium before the delivery and fetal deceleration, which are actually indication for the cesarean section in this child, which we previously explained. And given his good response to neonatal resuscitation, the infant remained in the room with his mother. Initial physical examination by the pediatrician was unremarkable. The vital signs, results of glucose screening were unremarkable, and he was noted to be feeding normally. So everything was quite fine. But at 11 hours after delivery, his parents requested that he should be taken to nursery so that he can sleep. The mother was quite distressed, and bystanders were quite demanding. So while sleeping in the nursery, the nurses noticed that he was found to have suddenly become cyanotic and apneic, and the infant was hypotonic, limping, cyanotic, apnea. Heart rate was around 100 beats per minute, above 100 beats per minute, and the positive pressure ventilation was initiated, and he was found to be hypertonic in the upper extremities but continued to be hypotonic in the lower extremities, and he was again intubated and transferred to the NICU. So that's a little bit of danger. What do you think the baby has developed? Think and write down your diagnosis, then proceed to see the video. Write down what is probably happening here. The baby had quite difficulties, cesarean, mother had problem, handed over to the bystander, came back to the nursery and developed again problem. There is evidently a nervous system problem, and there are two events which occurred. One is CNS event which occurred immediately after delivery, and after half an hour again a CNS. Are they both the same or different? That's what you have to think. Now let us see. So the differential diagnosis for a newborn baby who has apnea are sepsis, meningitis, pneumonia, pneumothorax, airway obstruction, intracranial hemorrhage including subrecurrent hemorrhage, seizure, neuromuscular disorder, hypoglycemia, cardiac disease, and medication effects. These are the things which you have to keep under consideration, and in this case you have to rule out one by one. White blood cell count is around 18,000, hemoglobin 16.8, platelet count 1,80,000, sodium 134, potassium 5, glucose 45, little bit low, calcium 10.5, normal. So everything except glucose is quite normal here. The CSF analysis is unremarkable. CSF and blood culture revealed no problem. Ultrasound was done for the head, turned out to be normal. EEG showed no seizures. So obviously most of the things which we thought are now out. And the meconium toxicology screening showed that there was presence of morphine, which was given to the mother before delivery. And what happened in the physical examination in the NICU, there was tremor and he was hypotonic with a Moro reflex, but has active movement of all four extremities. So that is something different we have to consider about the diagnosis in the second presentation. The deep tendon reflexes are appropriate, pupils are constricted, but it was reacting to light, and his apnea and abnormalities improved over the next 24 hours and he was extubated. So what did really happen here? Is it simply morphine withdrawal or morphine induced sedation? See, fluoxetine is selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. It's a commonly used drug to treat depression and anxiety. Infants of mothers taking this medication have been found to have a higher rate of premature delivery, lower birth weight and low Apgar score. And in this case, the mother experienced PTSD, that is post-traumatic stress disorder and bipolar affective disorder, and she was on multiple medications. And the infant's particular symptoms of hyper and hypotonia, apnea, tremor were symptoms of toxicity or withdrawal, with apnea being more suggestive of toxicity. The onset of symptoms at 11 hours after birth in an otherwise well infant are more suggestive of withdrawal. And the neonatal abstinence neonatal abstinence syndrome screening can be done for opioids withdrawal by using tools such as Finnegan scoring system. The symptoms are high-pitched cry, sleep disturbance, exaggerated motor reflex, tremor, hypertonia, myoclonus, convulsions, sweating, fever, autonomic nervous system symptoms like yawning, sneezing, sniffles, tachypnea, gastrointestinal disturbance like exaggerated sucking, poor feeding, regurgitation, vomiting, loose stools, and neonatal abstinence syndrome, that is defined as Finnegan score 4 or high. The American Academy of Pediatrics has stated that it is reasonable to observe infants exposed antenatally to benzodiazepine for 4 to 7 days. It is important to obtain a list of medications that a mother took during her pregnancy, taking into account adverse effects and half-life. Withdrawal symptoms can include cry, sleep disturbance, tremor, increased decreased muscle tone, seizure, sweating or diaphoresis, fever, respiratory syndrome, vomiting, and poor feeding. And neonatal abstinence syndrome scoring systems are validated for exposure to opioids and have not been validated for exposure to any other class of drugs because of paucity of research in this area. There may be a cumulative effect if more than one high-risk drug was taken during pregnancy. So to sum up message I would like to convey to you by this presentation are: one is that newborn had a danger sign in the first day of life. In this case, proper history taking is more important than any investigation to make a right conclusion. Then ICU care is very important in all hospitals where delivery is conducted. Neonatology training is a must for all doctors. Relatives who look after mother should be careful when newborn is handed over to them. Thank you for the patient listening. Please give me feedback and also please subscribe to this channel. It's ACPG Man. Thank you.